Hey everyone, just gonna make sure that my audio is correct. Oh, my mic is not correct. That's why you check this before. All right, camera is correct. Audio should now be correct. And y'all can hopefully see me, hear me. I'm gonna give a second for you guys to find your way online. And then we're gonna rock and roll. Right, hopefully you guys can see me. I just wanna make sure it's showing up live. Yes, there it is. All right, great. Should be on YouTube, should be on our team page. Okay. Just one more minute for people to find it, and then we'll start rocking and rolling. All right. So you're coming in, please say hello so I can greet you and say what's up. Okay, so this week's training call is about stories and the art of storytelling. And this is really an important part of your business, because if we want to break down the way that your business works, if your business was a brick and mortar business, okay, meaning a building, a shop, a physical location, your social media posts, hi Susie, your social media content, your email newsletters that you set out, your videos that you make, your stories that you share, all of that stuff is your storefront. Okay? What do I mean by that? All of that content that you are sharing is the message that people first get of you when they come across your stuff. It's an impression. So for example, if you walked by the Apple store, before you even got to the point where you could see the Apple sign, you would know you're coming across an Apple store, correct? Yes, because glass everywhere, very simplistic, light colored. There's a super aesthetic that they have. There's a message of transparency, literally, that they send by making their walls transparent in their store. Same thing goes for big, like, it's another brand that's like very Target. I mean, Target is another one. Their stores are all shaped the same. They're all organized the same. They have the same feel when you go inside. You know that the aesthetic of Target is going to be different than the aesthetic of Walmart before you even go inside. You can just tell by the way they present, the color of their signs, their marketing material, all that kind of stuff, okay? So your stories are what people first come in contact with, and that's what they're going to decide they want to do business with, if they decide to do business with. Sometimes it's one post that captures them and they're in. Sometimes it's the 5th post that they read of yours, okay, or more. But your post should be giving your audience a taste of a few things, like your personality, your sense of humor, your opinions on certain things, your perspective on life, the things that you've learned that you can help them with, visions or goals or dreams that you're working towards too, that they might want to work towards too, hope, motivation, right? Like all of these things are things that your posts should be doing. All of your posts should not be lengthy story posts, but you should have some of those in there as well. And in my experience, these are the posts that cost coaches the most to write, right? Like doing oh, I look awesome, look at me post is not super hard for them, or doing a funny share or something is typically very easy. But when it comes to actually telling a story in a post, that's where they kind of get nervous. And if you want to grow a team and you want to grow challenge groups, then this is an essential part of understanding your business. Okay. So just want to make sure everybody knows that this is live, because a lot of new coaches were asking about it. But when it comes so let me just make sure in particular that the new ones are on. Because I don't want them to miss it. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure that new coaches are actually having access to this and not missing it, because this is content that I think is extremely valuable. My gosh, it's not even letting me tag people now. This is the weirdest thing. It won't even let me tag people in our... Susie, can you do me a favor? Can you tag Lisa, who's new, Brittany Brightside, Michelle Whitaker, trying to think of our newer ones, Angel. Yeah. If you could tag them, that would be great. As many as you can think of, because it seems like people are not registering that this is live, and I really want them to watch it. It's not letting me tag them at all, which is really bizarre. So if you could do me that solid, I would appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So we're going to talk about a few different types of posts, and I'm going to use my actual posts as an example of what I'm talking about. Their names are not coming up. That is so freaking bizarre. I thought the same thing. I swear this live video is they're not getting the notification that this is even live. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a watch party in our own team. So I started a watch party because I can't tag anybody. This is so bizarre. I don't know why that's happening, but hopefully with the watch party thing, it'll bring people on. And then we'll go from there. That's so weird. Technology right now is just not on my side. I thought it was so strange. I was like, everybody's been asking me about this training, and now it's almost like it's not showing up. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry. But I want to make sure that their eyes are on this. Okay. So watch party has been started. I guess I'm just gonna continue. All right. So the first type of post we're going to talk about is a business post. Okay. So I put a few points here. People relate to stories, not features. Can they see themselves in what you're sharing? Can they relate to what you're sharing? Will your post answer a question for them, calm a fear that they have, make them laugh, help them feel connected? These are always the questions that I think are most important when you go to post something. Sometimes just making them laugh is enough. Like, that's a good enough post, right? Or I just shared, for example, the haircut that I got because I thought it looked super fire, and that's it. I just wanted to share how beautiful this haircut was, and it got so much feedback. Engagement is the name of the game. It doesn't always have to be super deep and thought-provoking. If it's engaging people and people are paying attention, that's good. Like, you've done a good job with your post, okay? Because then if you're bringing them in with humor or beauty or whatever else that you're bringing them in with, then when they see your other post where you're storytelling, then they're going to be like hooked in. So I see people are now finally finding that I went live. We've been live literally for 10 minutes and I had the impression that nobody got the notification. So hello, welcome. Okay. So the first post we're going to talk about is a business post. And this is a post when you are wanting to talk about building a team, sponsorship, bringing people on. Storytelling is my favorite way to do this. And if you guys are like, well, I don't have coaches yet, so I can't tell a story of a personal coach. How many stories could you tell of being in this team and seeing other people's stories? I'm sure there are plenty of them, or conversations that you've had with fellow coaches on the team, okay? So this is how my post went. One of the new business partners we just welcomed shared a story about her husband really encouraging her to pursue this work. She talked about how she was nervous to say yes and wasn't sure she would be good at it, and had these thoughts of fear and doubt, which, hello, totally normal. What did I just do there? I addressed what most people think when I invite them to this business, that they're not going to be any good at it, that they're fearful, that they're doubtful, that they don't think they can do this. I just addressed that this post is going to be about this. So all of those people reading this post are like, that's me. I think that. Pretty much out of the gate, okay? And then she'd bring this up to her husband and he would say, you mean to tell me Shakti is home with her son, getting fit, helping other people get fit, and as a bonus is bringing in income. Can you tell me what's wrong with that? And this really happened. And her husband really said this, and it was like the perfect explanation of what we do as coaches, like so succinctly put. And I exploded laughing when she recounted this story, because I actually laughed out loud. I was like, wow, that's so true. Like that's 100% accurate. And I also, what is wrong with that? That would be my response, right? That was hers as well. Because in the end, it's really that simple. And I love when someone just gets it. Her fear has gradually shifted into excitement and joy. And I can hear the dreams turning in her mind and her ability to have vision opening up once again. All I know is that over the course of the last 4 years, I have gotten stronger, wiser, more resilient, more fit, wealthier, more compassionate, and more developed in my leadership. The next 4, 7, 10 years will be passing us by no matter what. What will you be doing with them? You're welcome to come dream and vision with us, and as a side effect, leave a legacy of health behind you. Okay? And I put an attractive picture of me, a picture of me in my workout gear. I look really fit because I am really fit right now. And that's really eye-catching. Usually when I'm in my workout gear, those pictures get the most attention in general. You can see a lot of my definition in that picture, and that's why I shared it on purpose. I'm also drinking my pre-workout. Product placement. But the message was really simple. It wasn't a super long post. It was just me talking about this conversation I had with Lisa, who's one of our newer coaches, and how it made me realize that this business is extremely simple, and it's also an extreme blessing, because your success comes on the heels of you leaving a legacy of health and fitness, and also taking care of yourself in that way. So this is an example of great storytelling. So when you're thinking about writing a post, think about telling a story of, how you fit your work in your life. Maybe you have a full-time job and you're also a Beachbody coach. How do you make that work? And how can other people see themselves doing what you do? Okay. So what I did with this post is I took everybody who has a fear that they're not going to be good at this and they won't be able to do this and that it's complicated and that whatever. And I just smashed that objection with this one post that not only is it simple, not only do you have support and a mentor to help you do that, but also it's totally normal to be afraid and to feel like you can't do that. I just validated everybody's feelings about that in that one post. So this is a way of smashing objections publicly. So if you're inviting and you're getting a lot of one kind of objection, make a post about that. If you're inviting to the business and people are like, oh, I don't have time, make a post about how you make time. If you're inviting to the business and they're like, I don't have money to invest, make a post about how you chose to invest and what you did to make that a reality and what the return has been for you. If you're getting, do you see what I'm saying? Like if you're getting objections about it being a scam, Make a post about how you might have thought that or how I thought that. This your mentor, your own coach thought that, because that was my primary objection when I joined. And how I discovered I was completely wrong about that, right? Like there's so many different stories you could tell. But this is one of prime examples of a business post that puts the business in front of other people in a way that is relatable, because it's in the form of a story, for one, but it kind of walks the reader through that experience. Like, here's this person who's nervous and she has all these reservations, and then her husband says this thing, and then she decides to do it, and now she's starting to dream again, and now she's starting to see changes in her reality, right? So people are reading this and going like, oh, that could be me. I'm over here, but I could be over there, right? This is one of those examples. Any question on this particular post? And I'm going to assign you to write both a business post and a fitness post that tells a story of this nature and share it in the team page. So I want to make sure you guys understand what I mean by this. All right, cool. So here's another example of a business recruiting post. And in this post, I'm not dealing with an objection. I'm now dealing with a pain point. A pain point is a reason why you were driven to this business to begin with, okay? Why was this business your way out of something or your way to something, okay? That's another type of story that really connects with people. So for me as a massage therapist, one of my biggest pain points was I never had weekends free. As a massage therapist, weekends are your prime time. That's when you work the most. That's when all your clients can see you. You can't take your weekends off, which meant a lot of things. So I'm going to read this post. Notice my images. I'm not in these pictures. What am I showing in these pictures? I'm showing what I get to have now as a result of me being where I am and the decision that I made. I get to have a weekend with my mom, with her boyfriend, with my husband and my son, fishing in this beautiful house on a lake, this experience. I'm showing people what I now get to have, okay? Never miss a Saturday. That was my own driving mantra when I worked as a therapist for 8 years. Unlike most people, weekends were when I worked hard. As a massage therapist, that is your prime time, and it meant getting weekends off was not a thing. It meant missing festivals, family gatherings, time with my son who was not at school, time with my husband who would be off, quarterly events with my fitness company. It meant sacrificing more than I felt was really worth it. So in April of 2019, when I quit the last job I've had, I decided I would never miss a Saturday I wanted to have. This weekend, I got to drive about 2 hours to visit my family, go fishing, and chill, all while working from my laptop on the drive and welcoming a new business partner in the process. This is the life I dreamed of, a seamless life, working when I want, relaxing when I need. My ADHD needed the space. I needed space. I needed to honor when my energy was best and to unplug when it was low. Now that this is my everyday, designed by me, for me, and serving hundreds of others as a result, truly a high tide raises all ships. So now not only do I never miss a Saturday, I never miss anything I don't want to miss, and that is worth every single effort I have given and continue to give to live here. Okay, so what have I done in this post? Other therapists definitely feel this. 100% other therapists feel this. So that is one of my niches. One of my target audiences is massage therapists. So they're reading this right now going, go, that's my life. That's me. I always miss every Saturday. I always miss every Sunday or whatever it is, right? But other people reading this who aren't therapists are also going, gosh, how many things have I missed out on in my life because I couldn't afford to go? Or because of my job, right? Another pain point post I do often is going to the park in the middle or the pier in the middle of the week with my son because I can, because I'm not at a job. And I can't tell you how many messages I get like, oh, I wish I could just take my son on a Tuesday to a park or to get ice cream or whatever. And I was like, you could make that a goal. You can make that happen. There's an invite right there. They set themselves up for an invite, right? So understand what brought you here and talk about it often, because you're not the only person who feels that way. There are other people in the world who want out of something, whether it's debt, whether it's, living paycheck to paycheck, whether it's missing events because of jobs, whether it's just full-time family, time freedom, seeing their kids more. I don't know, whatever that thing is, you're not the only person who has your story. So talk about that. And when you're talking about the business, this is an awesome way of, I didn't even close with an invite. In the other post, I did say, you could come drink with us. Like that was more of like a call to action. This post, I didn't even do that. I didn't even have to, because this post does all the talking for me. This is another example of how you write a story business post. All right, now we're going to switch tracks and go more into fitness posts. How do I invite to challenge groups? How do I invite to joining something that I'm doing? So this post relates to my upcoming group, which is all about food. In it, I do some myth busting about missing out on food when you're losing weight. And I shared a gorgeous picture of one of my meals. I also included bonuses and gifts. These are more of the features, right? But first I tell the story and then I talk about the features. It's eye-catching, it's stimulating, it's teaching, and it's incentivizing, okay? So again, there is a picture of one of my meals. And I said, pizza is truly a love language for me. Since I started making my own pita pizzas with veggie toppings, veggie cheese, ricotta, I'm so obsessed with them. I refuse to ever purchase a frozen pizza ever again. One of the most valuable parts of my own weight loss and fitness journey is understanding that it is 100% possible to enjoy all the foods you love and continue to make progress. Why am I saying that? Because the belief of a lot of people who want to lose weight is that they have to starve or diet in order to lose weight. So I'm myth busting that shit by saying, no, that isn't true. And if that's what you're doing it wrong. And I'm showing them a picture of something that typically would not be considered diet food, right? That's the whole idea. The nutrition program I follow will never ask me to cut out a food group. It will never ask me to starve. It will never ask me to undernourish. On the contrary, I eat a lot. The good stuff and in the right proportions for me and my goal. If you're tired of struggling with food and starving when you're trying to eat well, we need to talk. From September to October, I'm about to have your back 100% and introduce you to the game-changing meal structure that will blow your mind. P.S. I will give the first 3 participants a sweet discount at my meal mapping journal as a gift. P.P.S. Exercise is entirely optional for this group and will earn you bonus points. Okay, so I left my features below. I did some myth busting up top, some objections to joining a nutrition group up top. And I addressed what people think they have to do. Cut out all carbs, eat low fat, blah, 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 all these things. Like, no, you don't have to do that. You just have to learn how to eat in the right proportions for your goal. You're good, right? I'll give you what you need to figure this out. So this is another way of me doing like a myth busting and also sharing something personal about me. Like, I love pizza. It is literally my favorite food. I can eat it all the time. A lot of people feel that way, right? A lot of people can connect to the fact that pizza is the bomb. And a lot of people miss pizza when they go on a weight loss journey, right? It's one of the things they don't eat. So this is another way of connecting, being relatable, and myth busting, and also closing with a hard invite in this example. Here's another way of sharing about fitness is shouting out someone that is doing awesome on their fitness journey, right? So I do this a lot. I do this with you guys as coaches when you're crushing it with your business, and I do this for coaches and clients when they're doing really well with progress on their weight loss journey or on their fitness journey. So I shared Sarah's post about working out. She just lived through a freaking hurricane. She had no lights for over a week and a half. I mean, it's been really intense for her. And she just dove right back in, and she was like, I'm recommitting MBF. And I really love that about Sarah, because she's really, really committed. And I talk to people all day long who, as soon as a breeze passes by them, they just topple over and give themselves up for loss. And they don't have that wherewithal to really like stand in their power and say, no, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to find a way, right? So I share examples of people who find a way so that other people who are using this excuse right now won't, because they're like, well, that girl did it. She talked about that one girl who did it after a hurricane. I could do that too, right? So that's the idea. It's not just you sharing your own content and your own stories, but share about other people on our team. Maybe your business success is not where you want it to be, but maybe one of ours is really inspiring to you. Maybe you want to talk about Shell and how Shell's a brand new coach and crushing it, okay? or something you admire about your upline, or something of that nature, right? Like, it doesn't always have to be about you and your own stories. Like, you have a community. Shout out the warriors in the wellness studio, whether or not they are your clients. It doesn't freaking matter, because nobody freaking knows. Okay? Nobody knows. Everybody in the Warrior Wellness Studio, if you're going to share someone's post that's in there, just make sure that you get permission from them to share their face. Sometimes I'll share people's stuff in my stories, but I'll make sure their face and their name are crossed out. If I don't ask, then so that I just get like whatever they wrote, do that too. Like, you know, these are people are posting this inside of the studio. Look how awesome. Look at the progress they're having, right? This is all a way of showing people other people's journeys and how they are getting somewhere, so that the people who are watching you can put themselves in their position and say, I can do that too, right? All right, so now we're going to talk about image editing and posting. So I just talked about the copy of your post, right? Like what to write and why storytelling is so powerful, but your images also matter. You want to make sure your images are clear. Make sure they are bright. Make sure you have good lighting. Make sure your background isn't full of messy clothes or items as much as possible. You want your image to be the focal point of what you're sharing. Make sure the capture has a focus and not a bunch of stuff happening at the same time. So I'm actually going to share my Instagram real quick so I can give you like real-time example of what I'm talking about. Okay, so in this image, there's one thing in it, this Shakeology that looks fucking bomb. I want to drink this all over again, and it's my own post. Okay, there's me holding two things that I got from my Ellie box, and then there's another image attached to this. There's me again. There is a video, and in the video, you can see that I cropped this very specifically so you see what I'm talking about. You see exactly what the recipe is. So if someone wants to watch this, they know what they're watching right away. Clean. Me, my son and my husband, pizza, decoration, me again, food, more food, me again. A video that clearly tells you what you're going to get when you watch this. I forgot I have a touchscreen computer. Sorry. Me again, transformation photo. Oh, reminds me, I need another transformation photo. I haven't done one in a while. Good job, me scrolling through here. But do you guys see what I mean about how clear my pictures are? Like they're not super occupied with a bunch of things at the same time. Like, you know what you're going to get when you open that image, right? It's very clear. That's the most eye-catching. Now, my pictures are also very bright. So you might be saying, how do your pictures look so bright? I use an image editor. It's called Light and Airy Photo Presets. These are presets you can purchase, and they upload into an app called the Lightroom Photo app. The Lightroom Photo app is free. You can put it on your phone. The presets, however, that I use, Light and Airy, you have to purchase. But the Lightroom Photo app lets you adjust the lighting on your photos by yourself. So you can actually go in there and just tweak the contrast, the highlights, the shadows, and make like a preset yourself, basically. But Sable and I both have this Light and Airy preset, and there's a lot of different types of presets that you can use. And even after you put a preset, you can tweak it just so that your image really stands out. It's really amazing for your photos. It brings out the light in your photos and the colors in your photos so that it's eye-catching and looks really clean. But it's really important that you guys develop the art of sharing these images that look really crisp and really nice and eye-catching. That's part of becoming an entrepreneur. When social media is your storefront, is understanding the appearance of things, right? Like if Apple was a mess when you looked in through those glass walls and you just saw shit everywhere, like you wouldn't have the experience of walking up to an Apple store. But everything looks very organized, it's very clean, it's very chic, it's very whatever. So you want to go in there because you're going for that experience, right? So your feed is sort of similar to that. And also, like, I'm sharing Instagram, but Facebook is similar, a little bit different because there's text on Facebook, right? On Instagram, there's just strictly images. But you want to make sure you're showing your face. Show your face a lot. That's really important. And show your body. Show your body. You don't have to be in a two-piece set. It took me a while to get comfortable to do that, but Show your full body, right? Like wearing clothes is fine, but show yourself, right? I do share food pics because my audience really loves them. But I show a lot of myself because your smile, your eyes, your face, they connect that to your message. I don't share a ton of my son, but I do share some so they know, okay, she's a mom, she has a kid. I don't share a lot with my husband, but I do every once in a while drop them. I know some coaches that share a lot about their kids and their partner. I'm not one of them. I talk a lot more about whatever I'm teaching or whatever recipe I'm trying or, you know, things of that nature. There's more pictures of me, you know, you get the gist, right? And if I do a workout, this is something I've learned from following other influencers. Like if you want to do a multi where you're showing slides of your workouts, start with a still image of yourself and then add the video clips behind it. Okay. That's something I've been learning from just watching other people online that share. I like how it looks. It looks really clean. Your first image always looks really good. And then your backup images will have like here I did it again. See, like here's just a good image. And then all of a sudden you can watch my moves if you want to. Okay. Any questions on this? Please ask. It's really important that you guys understand like what I'm even talking about when it comes to editing. Let me see if I can pull up the light and airy presets. Dumplings, interesting. Okay, so here are different, they're on sale right now too. Might want to get you some. These are all on sale. It's a good price. Okay. Like this is the one that I typically have, but they do a really good job of showing you the difference, right? So here's a really good example of how the image editor works. Here's the original photograph. Here's what it looks like with a preset. Okay, here's your original photograph. Here's what it looks like with a preset, right? It just brightens up the image in just a beautiful way. It brings out all the natural tones. So the preset is called Light and Airy. Okay. And it's the, what was the name of the Lightroom photo app? Lightroom. Looks like this. The photo editing software. Okay. So then when you upload your presets, it'll go right into there. And it's free. Your presets you pay for, but I just love these presets a lot. I think they make such an amazing difference in photographs. And then once you have a favorite preset, you can literally just use the same one over and over again. I have one that I love out of the bundle that I bought. There's one that's called Clean, and it's the one that I use all the time because I love it. It's my skin tone looks good. Everything, every picture I ever take, Clean looks the best. It doesn't look over processed. It looks just brightened up enough. So I'm like obsessed with that. I use the same one for everything. Okay. And then the last thing I want to say before we talk a little bit more is to share your post with us. If you're nervous about posting a business post or a fitness post or something of the nature, then just send it to us. You have a whole team of people. Post it in the team page, you know, send it in the Voxer thread if you're in the Voxer thread and let us read it. Like, let us look at it for you and give you some advice. A lot of us have been doing this a long time, myself being one of them. And I also have a degree in creative writing. So for me, writing is a little bit different. I have a background in writing, so I understand storytelling to a different degree, but use that to your advantage because you can have my eye on your posts if you're nervous about what you're sharing. You don't know what you want to share. Okay. Any questions at all about how to share? I want you guys to draft a business post because because I know many of you are not doing that right now, and a fitness post for an upcoming group that you have. Okay, and I want you to tell a story in both of them, and I want you to attach a really eye-catching image to it. Okay. Images matter. If you're just posting on Facebook, images matter because the algorithm gives preference to images. So if you write a text post, certain people are going to see it, but if you post that with a picture, everybody's going to see it because way more people will see it because Facebook will push it out to way more people. Okay, so images are important. Think about that. Images outside are super nice as well with nature, trees, those get a lot of attention, just switching up your environment. That's why I think this one was so eye-catching because it was such a beautiful place that we happened to be in. All right, any questions for me from you guys? That was kind of a fast presentation on storytelling. Please ask me if you're stuck with something, if you're, not getting traction or you don't understand XYZ thing. Susie, for example, is a really good example of someone who's recently started sharing very differently. I'm actually going to pull up your Instagram, Susie, because I want them to see the difference in your posts. Okay. So here are Susie's posts prior to like 2 weeks ago. Okay. A lot of food posts, which is fine for dogs. A lot of very similar types of pictures, similar facial expressions, similar pictures. Nothing wrong with, but very similar. But then right about here, you start to notice the difference in her pictures. You see it? Okay. Look at her face. She loves eating cookies with her Shakeology. Her face here, different facial expression here, different location of her house here, surrounded by her dogs, right? This black and white photo interrupts it. This is one with one of her daughters. Another amazing meal. Her dog and her shake. Her working. Okay, she's at a computer. Her outside having fun. Her outside having fun with one of her dogs. Her happy place. She also made it funny about the fact that she photoshopped the beach in, right? Because she was missing the beach, talking about her husband. Okay. So it looks real different than her previous post. There was a switch in energy. Okay. And in the frequency of her posts too. She started to post way more often now. Okay. You're getting really good traction and engagement too, by the way, Susie. I hope you're messaging every single person that liked or commented on any of these pictures because that's pretty decent engagement and invited them to something. That's what I would do. I would literally be writing to all of these people. Look at this. Look at all this engagement. Okay. Look at all this engagement. Look at this. 2007 people played this video. Okay. That's awesome. You need to be messaging these people. So, just an example. Any questions, y'all, about any of this? This is really like the storefront is what brings people in. And again, if someone's liking your stuff, if someone's watching your stories, if someone is, talk to them. Talk to them. They just put themselves out in front of you. Talk to them. Invite them. Don't feel nervous. Okay? Like they are engaging with you. They're watching your stuff because they're thinking about you. It's not random. They clicked on your stories because they wanted to see your stories. They engaged with your picture because they wanted to engage with your picture. Right? Those are your people. That's not cold messaging, by the way. If they're watching your stuff, that's called warm market. Cold market if someone's never seen any of your stuff and you're messaging them to invite them to something. But if they're already watching something you're doing, that's a warm market invite. Warm market connect. That counts as a warm market. Okay. So I post about once a day, sometimes twice a day, and I try to keep my posts varied so they're not always the same, which Susie also has a variety in her posts. So I try to talk about, like here I'm talking about one of our products. Here I'm talking about something I tried. Like I don't just promote our own stuff. Like I want to share lots of things that I find that I love with my audience. That's how you build trust with them, right? So do I sell Ellie? Nope. Do I sell you Cora, which I talk about all the time? Nope. But I love their stuff and I want to talk about it just like I talk about Beachbody stuff because I love their stuff too, okay? So picture of a subscription box that I tried and I gave my honest review of it. Picture of a haircut, a recipe video. Here's the cool thing I did here too. This is a secret for connecting with people on Instagram. I found this recipe from another girl on Instagram who does vegan recipes, okay? So I made this video following her recipe and I changed it a little bit. I made it sugar-free where she had, regular confectioner sugar. I used stevia confectioner sugar. But then I tagged her when I wrote the lines for this video. I tagged her and I said, thank you so much for this recipe. I tweaked it so and so way. She saw the tag. She came to my thing and she was like, I love this. This is awesome. And then she shared my video in her stories. And she has a huge following of people that follow her. Okay. This beauty tried my recipe and she made it sugar-free. She improved upon it. Okay. What happened? People who follow her came to my page and started following me. Okay. So if you're following people on Instagram that do recipes, try their recipe. Make it yourself. Give them a shout out. Okay. And let them know that you love that you found their stuff. Okay. And build community that way. Because then she started following me as well. So other people that followed me and she followed me. Okay. So you don't even have to come up with your own recipes. You just share other people's and build community that way. Okay. That's another idea. Family, decoration, food, me, weights, just transformation. I should be sharing one of these every so if you're on Instagram and you're way at the top, you can see 6 squares. So every 6 squares, there should probably be a transformation photo. Right now, I'm completely slacking because, I'm 9 squares down. You can see a transformation photo. So I need to throw in another one in there. But all right. Any other questions? Oh, also my Flow page. I talked about this a little bit in the Voxer that I found Flow page versus Linktree. Just want to show it to you guys and why I like it so much versus Linktree, because you can have your name and a title here. They can click to email you or text you or whatever. But unlike Linktree, you can actually embed a video. So this is my next group. So it's in my Flow page. People can play it and actually watch it from here. They can listen to the entire thing from here. Okay, without having to go to another page. And then here is apply to join my bootcamp with images. You can do all of the images. I just like this a lot more. I felt like this was such a better use of space than Linktree was, and it's also free. So if someone clicks on it, they immediately get to see your face, hear something that you're doing. I suggest promoting your next group in this video and then decide if they want to join you. All right, any questions about any of that? Put myself off there. No? Cool. Well, that's really what I had for business training for you guys tonight. Hopefully it was insightful and helpful and gave you a point of reference for where to go with your posts. Typically, I would say at least 2 times a week, talk about the business if you want to grow a team. If team building is your thing, 2 times a week, do a business post, okay? Definitely at least 2 times a week, do a fitness post and share something that you're doing in your group or feedback you're getting in your group or whatever. And then the other, okay, it's 2, 2, 4. You have 3 more posts. Make those fun in your week. A family post, a subscription box you're trying post, water bottle you're trying post. Got this one for free. Homeschooling. Something you're doing with your kids, right? I'm doing homeschooling projects. I share those in my stories a lot, but that could be a post, right? So do this formula of 2, 2, 3, okay? So 2 business posts in your week, 2 fitness posts in your week, 3 fun posts in your week. And you could space them out. Monday I'm going to do this, and then Tuesday it'll be a fun post. Monday it'll be about business, and then Tuesday it'll be fun, and then Wednesday it'll be about fitness, and then Thursday it'll be fun, and then Friday it'll be about business, and then Saturday will be fun, and then Sunday will be about fitness, and interchange them that way. But the formula, really, like a safe formula, is 2 about business, 2 about fitness, 3 fun. And the ones that are about business and fitness, at least one of them should be a call to action. One of them should be join me for my group, right? Or drop me a DM if you'd like to learn more about the business. Okay, at least one of those 2 should be about that. So hopefully this gives you clarity. Now, if you're not team building and you just want to run challenge groups, then 4 about fitness, 3 are fun, and interchange them, weave them in, right? Your own journey with fitness, a testimonial from someone you're working with, anything, a recipe you're trying, whatever the thing is. Okay? All right. I do not see any questions, so I'm assuming that you guys do not have any, and this was really clear and helped you guys. That's what I'm going to assume. So my challenge for you for this week, this upcoming week, is to decide when you're going to post. Like, I want you to plan your entire week, editorial calendars, like status. Like, from tomorrow, Friday, to next Friday, plan what you're going to post about. Okay? So, what are you going to talk about tomorrow? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? Decide what those posts are going to be. Write down a fitness post, a business post, a fun post. Okay? Write that down. You might not have the picture yet. You might not know exactly what yet is, but just by planning out the theme, you're going to find a post to share. I promise you. Whether it's sharing an article or sharing a picture or whatever the thing is, you will figure it out because your brain has now been primed to find a solution for that thing. You just set an expectation, so now the brain's like, oh, got to find a fitness post. Oh, got to make a business post, right? Like, you've already set the tone. This is why mapping out stuff like that really works, because it creates expectation in the mind. All right. So do that and share it in the comments of this video what your schedule is going to be for posting from Friday to Friday. Okay. So that we can see it. And then tag us in your posts. You share a business post or you share a fitness post, tag us so that we can go check it out, read it, engage with you, build your engagement. Okay. All right. So that is it for this week. I will see you guys next week, which I'm assuming next week it's already September. Am I right? It is. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. It's the 2nd of September and it's pumpkin spice launch. So just be aware of that. Be sure you're talking about it with your audience if pumpkin spice is your jam, because it'll become live and then it'll sell out in 5 seconds, because that's how these are going these days. And I will see you guys then that evening. All right. Bye, loves.